Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we are talking about My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 25, Season Finale. Fret not, my friends, because we are getting a Season 7. There was a nice little teaser at the end of the episode where it said, the story will continue in Season 7. So, confirmation that, 6 months to a year or so, there will be a Season 7. So, you're good. I know a lot of people were kind of complaining about the season. Wasn't maybe as as much about as it used to be. I think that the issue was season 5 was just so bland and kind of boring until we got to like the very end of it that a lot of people I don't think came back for season 6. I'm going to be honest with you. But without further ado, let's get into the episode here. So we start off here with All Might picking up Deku's little respirator thing, looking at a statue. Someone graffitied it. I am not here. And then we run into Stain. A couple episodes ago, it was foreshadowed they were going to talk. I got a little bit annoyed because I thought it was going to happen in the next episode, but we still got it in the season, so no major big deal. But he's accusing All Might, essentially, of not being himself. Basically saying he's fake, he's false, he's an impersonator. At which point we actually get to see All Might transform here, into his old state for less than a second, and he coughs up blood after doing it. So he can't even hold the form anymore. It physically pains him to try to hold that form. And Stain kind of continues on saying, you're impersonating him. All Might's like, are you gonna kill me? And he's kind of reminding All Might of his past, saying, even before he was quirkless, he still couldn't sit still. He still had to go fight. And he's reminding All Might of what it basically means to have less power. Not have his powers anymore, and kind of go back to who he was to a certain extent before he got his quirk. And basically saying, he couldn't sit still. What if God is one of the things Stain said? What if God became immortal? Lost all of his abilities? You think he would just sit still and do nothing, or you think he would do everything in his abilities to help out? And that's essentially what Stain's trying to get the point across, saying that All Might, the idea of All Might was ingrained into his soul. He's supposed to be there to help people with a smile, and you are not All Might right now. You're impersonating him because he's not sticking to his guns, essentially sticking to his moral code. He's kind of becoming downplayed, thinking he's useless, thinking he can't do anything useful to help anybody. And that is not the case. He can still be there for the next generation, still help them train, still help them, build themselves up. And then we see this woman here cleaning the graffiti off of the All Might statue, saying, they keep doing this to it over and over and over again. We have All Might saying, "Oh, she's probably just a nuisance. She's a nuisance for people because this could cause her a lot of trouble. Essentially, that keep doing this because a lot of people are against heroes at this point in time." But this is the last woman that All Might ever saved. This was All for One versus All Might. Back in a couple. I think it was season 3. I wanna remember. It's hard to remember which seasons went where. And this basically was, the last woman he saved, lit the fires in her, to believe in heroes, to keep going, to keep fighting, to support them in every way she can. And, basically she's trying to be like, All Might is still a symbol. He's still there. He didn't go away. The man is still alive. Just because he doesn't have his powers anymore doesn't mean, he's completely useless. And this kind of lights a fire in All Might, and basically saying, you're going to light the fire in the new generation, you're going to help the new generation, pass down the torch, even if it's only among the few, and help them do what they need to do. He was also extremely useful because he had information regarding what Shigaraki and All For One are doing in the future. He gave him a note and a little love letter to All Might as well. And basically he said, I am the and he ends, I am the hero killer Stain. I have killed 40 people. When you're ready to be a hero again, come kill me. That's essentially what he said. So he's still in that mindset, only All Might is good enough to kill him. And it's kind of interesting because Stain's, went from a hero killer to a vigilante. Maybe he never really was, a villain. Maybe he was more of a vigilante, trying to form the world in a place where only true heroes exist and get rid of all the fakes, if you will. I think is what Stain was ultimately trying to do. We then kind of cut to the intro here. Um, Izuku getting cleaned up, thrown in a bath. Nice little fan service for the ladies, if you will. Um, and basically just trying to get Deku in a place where he's comfortable, where he can rest. Um, Everybody's kind of talking to him about his quirks. Todoroki shows up, and yeah, Todoroki, Shoto Todoroki. There we go, words. Showed up and basically is like, "Why are you all bugging Deku right now? He needs to rest, needs to get some sleep." But they're basically all talking about, how he's a support system. Deku's basically saying, I apologize to Class 1A. I need to apologize to All Might. And it was a combination of them apologizing to each other, Deku basically saying sorry for ignoring you, and All Might basically saying, sorry that I let my own fears and my own lack of powers get in the way from helping you further. All Might also kind of went on to somewhat apologize to Class 1A as well. Mina even said, she was like, hey, you should be apologizing to all of us, not just him, we're all here together, all supporting as well. And he did to a certain extent. But he talked about how, he got this new information. And got a little bit of Shoto talking about his bloodline and, Endeavor and Dabi, and probably people kind of not liking him too because they're seeing Dabi. Endeavor doesn't want to be seen because now everybody's going to be just associating him with Dabi. And I'm sure we're going to get an arc of that as well. There's probably going to be some arc in the future where it's, the Todoroki family versus each other. And Dabi may or may not get killed, or he might get arrested. Might be too far gone at this point in time. We really don't know what's going to happen with that. But Deku does finally fall asleep. He is at rest. We get to see, get some backstory with Stain getting the information from the security guard and learning that pretty much there's 3 days. So they thought it was 2 months before Shigaraki and All For One were going to interact. All Might also kind of talked about the interaction between Shigaraki and All For One, how they can kind of see into each other and communicate with each other. And they figured out that it was most likely because they both had the radio wave quirk that they were able to communicate with each other through the radio waves, essentially. And because, obviously, you can get radio through radio waves, so it makes sense that, if you had that quirk or ability, you would be able to communicate some sort of message to each other through them. Radio waves can get through almost anything, essentially, 500 feet underground or 500 meters underground, whatever it was, wouldn't be a major issue for there. You got sonar and stuff and all other sorts of crazy stuff with those quirks. But we find out that it's like they got 3 days, essentially. They got 3 days to figure out where the heck they are, get everything stopped, and they're like, yeah, that's not enough time. We then get a bunch of pro heroes, from other countries wanting to help, and the hero that we see coming to Japan's aid, I believe her name is Stars and Stripes, if I can get an image of her up on the screen here for you. There we go. She is the U.S.'s #1 hero. And honestly, to me, she just looks like a female All Might. If you expressed All Might in a female form, slapped an American flag outfit on her, or him, I mean, essentially, there you go. This is what it would look like. You got the blonde hair there and everything. Eye color's a little different. She's got a red eye color, but no idea what her quirk is. So I'm guessing we're going to be seeing that next season. That'll be interesting. Seeing heroes from other countries come to the aid. They said there's all this paperwork involved, but she was like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to go help," because All Might is her friend, and she wants to help him. And be damned if anyone's going to stop her. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when she shows up as well, what kind of quirk, being she is also a #1 hero of, the U.S. in this case. I'm assuming she is immensely powerful, You know, you're talking All Might level strength, essentially. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out as well. Um, Deku wakes up, he activates his quirk, but because he kind of has a vision of Shigaraki and All for One coming after him. Wakes up with Black Whip, but he doesn't attack anybody with it, but he's ready, so he's definitely got a lot more. It's good to see that Deku has a lot more control over his quirks as we've seen him develop them very much so throughout this season. But basically, everybody's like, "Yep, you're good, you're safe, no one's gonna hurt you." Deku actually is finally feeling at ease. It says the final battle is drawing near. And basically, they're just like, yeah, no, all of us are going to support you um, in this endeavor, and that's pretty much where the season ends. So, cliffhanger, I guess. We have a hero from another country coming to Japan. We have Stain helping out. Not sure if he's going to actually kind of continue on his journey, or we're something where we're just not going to see Stain for a while. Not really sure. Rating wise, solid 9 out of 10. I say that because I feel like Stain that should have been shown several episodes earlier. Not that it wasn't a good part of the episode, but I feel like should have been shown a little earlier. Yeah, I mean that was I guess my really only gripe for the episode. Definitely you're winding it down at this point. Here's the conclusion of the season, so it makes sense. But definitely worth a rewatch. Wouldn't hurt. But what's probably going to happen next season is we're going to see this number one hero from the U.S. Maybe fight Shigaraki, possibly. I really don't know. There's going to probably be another fight with Deku and Shigaraki as well. Probably going to get some Endeavor and Shoto versus Dabi action. That's also going in there. And who knows? But let's go to the very end here because I believe if I play it, we should see it any second now. Yeah, there you go. To be continued, 7th season. So there you go. Yeah, 7th season confirmed. Gonna happen. How long? I don't know. Next week's schedule, there might not be a video because I'll try to put out a meme or something. I'll figure something out for next week. Being that Nagatoro is now done, so you're not getting a Nagatoro episode tomorrow. Now that My Hero Academia is done, and it's going to be about another week or so before Demon Slayer and then Dr. Stone comes out. So you can expect me to be reviewing / clips of those two things. So yeah, there you have it. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like. Let me know what you want me to do for future anime and cartoon related content. Thank you for watching yet again, and as always, have a good one.